The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network.
Good evening, and welcome to Q's on the Move. My name is Brother Omari Fennell, Second Vice Bossilist for Psi Iota Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, located in Dover, Delaware. Today, I will be facilitating for our Chapter Fatherhood Initiative and Mentoring Committee Chairman, Brother Dante Jones, for tonight's episode of Q's on the Move. Today's podcast will focus on the great work that the Brothers of Psi Iota Chapter, also known as the Capital City Qs, are doing in Central Delaware and the 2nd District. My co-host this evening is Brother Greg Bunkley, Bossilist of Psi Iota Chapter of Dover, Delaware. Brother Bunkley will take a few minutes to give a brief overview of Psi Iota Chapter, a graduate chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in Dover, Delaware. Brother Bossilist, take it away.
Thank you, Brother. Greetings and felicitations. We're so excited that you could join us this evening on this podcast. Psi Iota is located in the capital city of the state that started a nation, Dover, Delaware. We have a huge tradition here, founded in 1946, the first chapter of Omega Psi Phi in the state of Delaware. We've had several notable men of influence come through this chapter. We've had members on the cabinet of our government. We've had 3 presidents at Delaware State University, and several other professions have been represented by Omega men who have come through Psi Iota Chapter. I'm excited for you to hear about all of our activities and projects and programs that we are embarking on. And so without further ado, Brother Mari, you have the show.
Thank you, Brother Bossilist. Our first segment on our podcast of the night focuses on Psi Iota Chapter's scholarship fundraising campaign, the McDowell Scholarship Kids to College Initiative. Brother Eddie Armour, co-chair of Psi Iota Scholarship Committee, is here to discuss the scholarship initiative, its success, the impact it has had with the young people within the Delaware community, and how viewers can donate. Brother Armour, good evening. I'm going to start with our first question, Brother Armour. Can you provide the viewers with an overview of the McDowell Scholarship Kids to College Initiative?
The McDowell Scholarship Kids to College Initiative, we had to do an overhaul in 2017. And we had to refocus on the way we handed out scholarships. After we did the refocus, as of recent years, we've been fortunate to award approximately 20 recipients with the Kids to College Initiative Scholarship. The Psi Iota Chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, we brought these scholarships to the forefront of what we do. We no longer neglected giving out money to these young scholars, but we brought it to the forefront of a yearly activity that we provide. We provide college scholarships, which are designed to assist high school seniors in attaining their goals for post-secondary education. Kids to College Initiative is an award program that's designed to highlight and award the achievements of academic excellence and community involvement of direct family members of financial brother in the chapter.
Great, that's fantastic, Brother Armour. I do have another question for you as well. So where do you see the future of this initiative heading in the future?
We would love to be able to impact young scholars beyond just those that are connected to a brother in our chapter. We desire to be able to hand out scholarships to any deserving senior in the state of Delaware. I would love to have it listed with the other scholarships that our seniors can apply for as they begin their pursuit of college funding. Our vision, our goal, our dream, and our desire is one day to be able to give a full ride, not just a partial ride, but a full ride, all expenses paid, to a deserving scholar to a historical Black college and university.
That is an awesome goal, certainly, brother Armour. And my last question for you for this evening, I want to ask, how can our viewers donate to the McDowell Scholarship Kids to College initiative?
I'm so glad you asked that, and I'm more than ready to give that answer. Our chapter has a Cash App account, and if you donate to $Psi Iota chapter, all one word, $Psi Iota CHAPTER, and in the for section, put K2C, which stands for Kids to College Initiative. If you do that, you'll be blessing one of our young scholars to be able to achieve their dreams of matriculating to higher education.
Fantastic, brother Armour. I know for a fact personally that this has been a great initiative over the past couple of years. We've definitely made strides with the initiative, and we're definitely looking to do more and affect the community in more of a positive manner. So I want to thank you, brother Armour, for sharing that information about the McDowell Scholarship Kids to College initiative. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Outstanding. So I'm going to move to our next segment of the evening. And I'll start by saying it is safe to say that none of us ever anticipated the year that 2020 would become, just a few months after it started. The COVID-19 pandemic turned our lives upside down, changing our work habits, and unfortunately, keeping many of us separated from those we love. Due to the COVID-19, service organizations have had to make adjustments with how they go about providing uplift to their communities. Today's second podcast, segment is about one of Psi Iota chapter's mentoring initiatives, the QG Omega Gents Youth Mentoring Program. Brother Jamel Trott, the Omega Gents Committee co-chair, wants to encourage all second district chapters of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated to be intentional about developing creative programs as we navigate during the COVID-19 pandemic, aimed at mentoring young people and helping men become better fathers. Thank you for joining us this evening, Brother Trott.
Check one. Hello, fellas. How we doing, good brothers? Good to see you guys. Hope all is well.
All right, good brother. Let's get right into the conversation. So, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many after-school and weekend programs have either been put on hold or just now beginning to open slowly, but very cautiously. However, Psi Iota Chapter's Omega Gents Mentor Program has utilized tools like Zoom to continue mentoring its young people. Can you briefly explain and kind of give an overview of the Omega Gents Mentoring Program?
Yes, it is my pleasure. It is my pleasure. Once again, thank you guys for at least having me part of this opportunity to continue Omega's work within the school system that is in our community. I've been honored and blessed with a couple of the brothers who have been major participants to make sure that this program is executed properly. We've been honored to pair with a school district here in the area where we can get within a 5th and 6th grade class and deal with a population within one building that has access to 1,000 kids. So it's very impactful that when we were able to go in there, one of the cool things about Omega is it was a concept that wasn't necessarily created by us, but it was adopted because there was some good brothers over there in Sigma Iota and Alpha Rho chapter of Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Basically, the West Coast that adopted this, and there are things that we do internally within the school as well as outside of the school. So the wonderful brothers of Psi Iota have taken on that mission to kind of, incorporate our in classroom environments where we're teaching young men about image, the importance of image, what it takes to be a man, being your brother's keeper, and also instilling some other cool things because we've had such a cool outreach within this community. We've been blessed with the opportunity to have a partnership where our kids get a little physical activity throughout the PAL program, which is the Police Athletic League. And then you go forth and you get some of our kids that have access or ability to get access to STEM education through, just simple resources like our coding. And I'm just been blessed the fact that, the chapter here has been taking on this initiative to support me and the brothers who want to make sure that within this 5th and 6th grade genre of kids, you got to understand this pandemic has impacted a lot of that for that age group. And you look at it for first grader, they have 6 years to figure it out. So for us to at least kind of instill some of the importance to at least conduct yourself as a man, as a respected citizen, and also just holding on with your grades and your discipline, because funny to see some of the these young men take on the motto of Omega Gents, and you see them, honor the code of, taking care of each other, handling their responsibility, being accountable for themselves. When you see them walking in school, the teachers are like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad that those set of young men have taken on, and this opportunity is given to them through the brothers." So the brotherhood is definitely A1 for that one, and I'm just blessed to help co-facilitate that. There's other brothers in here that deserve more praise than me. I'm just honored just to continue to work with Omega.
That is truly, truly awesome. Awesome work that you brothers are doing. I heard you had mentioned a couple of things that you talked about there in terms of some of the topics and things that you expressed to and kind of teach the young men. What do you like specifically? What do you like the most about the program itself?
Well, so every brother has a different flavor, and when it's so with me, I'm going to say that I have an upper hand because I get to see these kids the whole time that they're in their school environment. Being an educator myself, I get to see the transition from them seeing a brother like me trying to represent Omega Man in a professional fashion to see brothers that are within the regular world that come into the building and they carry on that, and it's like, wow, we don't come in scripted. We have an idea, we have an approach, and it's not like we are just throwing information. We give them visual, connections. We have them give them testimonials, and you see a broad range of wisdom that comes within the room. And so you have whether the brother that's sitting before you make you feel like he's your grandpa or your brother or your uncle, you can still going to take something from that experience, and that's what's been so cool because we serve a diverse crowd, and you have a diverse amount of brothers that are taking on this, presentation. We present pictures, we make conversations out of them, we get their, opinion about how do you view this, like what is this? And then we go forth and try to mold a better way of thinking about it. It's a different approach than what they're going to end up choosing anyway. The decision is theirs as long as they are accountable and responsible for whatever it is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. I love what you guys are doing with the kids there. They're definitely sucking. They're definitely, you know, bringing it in and really getting, you know, they're really getting into the program, and I really see, you know, the result of that, you know, the enthusiasm that they have in that program. So with this program, if you had a parent or a student that would like to obtain more information, how could they get involved? How could they contact, who would they contact to get involved in the Omega Gen Mentor program?
Well, the most interesting thing is you can be connected to any brother in this chapter, and you can gain access to the outside events. Because once again, not just one dimensional, even though we focus on a particular grade set and a particular school for now. That's not our future goal. We would like to expand, and we have to understand with the pandemic, we have to be strategic about this. So it now opens up the other avenue where we can host events outside, which all you have to do is just stay tuned into some of the events that we might publish on social media platforms and so forth like that. So just being connected to a brother that you might be hearing this. You might see a name, you might see somebody wearing purple and gold walking through there with a mega Psi file on their chest or somewhere. And on the tag of the card. You ever want something to kind of help yourself as, you know, in personal growth or just having a good time with wholesome folks, look into a person that you might see that own that particular paraphernalia, as we call it. But if you want something for your child, I will always say, whatever school you're in, seek out the after school program, because what can happen is Omega can infiltrate those different avenues where we can come together and partner with those resources and provide a whole broad range of districts with the same opportunity. But the goal is not to, you know, be the only ones that's doing this. The goal is to show other people that with your partnerships within the businesses, within, you know, the schools, because we are a community. That's not just one avenue. So get within your programs, and those coordinators will be the strategic minds that will incorporate or open the opportunity for us to infiltrate and take care of your kids.
Amen to that. Brother Jamel Trott, I appreciate your time. Thank you again for taking the time out of your day to share this great mentoring program with our audience. Much appreciated, Rube, my brother.
Yes. Appreciate you.
All right,
Rube.
We're going to switch gears. We're going to switch gears and talk about a special project that the Brothers of Psi Iota chapter are doing that will have a major impact on a global scale. With everything that is happening around us in the United States, we sometimes find ourselves in our own bubble of issues and challenges that we're faced daily. However, the brothers of the 2nd District, including Psi Iota chapter, have not forgotten the needs of our brothers and sisters in Ghana, Africa. The United Nations estimates that roughly 115 people in Africa die every hour from disease linked to poor sanitation, hygiene, and contaminated water. This evening, we have Brother Charles Moore, Psi Iota Achievement Week Chair, to discuss the chapter's philanthropic effort in the Grand Basilisk, Brother David Marion's global effort, the Water is Life Initiative, Boreholes for Ghana. Welcome, Brother Moore.
Thank you, Brother Fennell. Thanks for inviting me.
Fantastic. So let's get right into the conversation. Brother Moore, tell our listeners this evening a little bit about the Water is Life Initiative and what Psi Iota chapter is doing to support this global effort.
Yes, so the Water is Life Initiative, which we refer to the Boreholes for Ghana. The purpose of the Water is Life Initiative is to provide clean and safe drinking water to developing countries in Ghana. The Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated in 2019 commissioned the construction of drinking wells or boreholes for 2 impoverished communities in Ghana. The villagers had to obtain their water to cook, clean, bathe from nearby muddy, disease-infected ditches. So the Water is Life Initiative was committed to sponsoring in 2020 24 boreholes. And that is an ongoing initiative of the fraternity today. And each of those boreholes will provide up to 50,000 residents with clean, safe. You know, Brother Fennell, water is something that we don't put any value on because it's simply water. We don't give it a second thought because we expect to have water always available to us. And as you stated that the statistics of 115 people in Africa die every hour, disease that's linked to contaminated water and other hygiene and sanitation problems. So this really is the main reason why boreholes are essential to the life for many Africans. So the fraternity, by working through the Tall Kai chapter, which is located in Accra, the fraternity financed the borehole for the village and Accra Pond, which is a school of the blind. That's another community that had struggled with access to potable water. So a borehole are narrow, it's a narrow shaft that's drilled to extract water from the ground. The water is then collected into an above container, and villagers are able to fill their buckets and containers. So boreholes will provide villagers with an endless supply of fresh, clean, portable water, which is essential to their quality of life. So the fraternity is encouraging its members to support Water is Life initiative and to consider Ghana for business and economic development projects. The Psi Iota chapter, by way of our Hope Foundation, we are extremely excited and very proud to be a sponsor of a borehole to provide clean water to our brothers and sisters in Ghana, with the hope that it provides a better quality of life for years to come.
You were certainly, Brother Moore, right on top with that. You know, we definitely often take for granted, as you said, you know, just the blessings that we have here in our lives, just to have water. You know, we really don't, we really do not, you know, take it and really value it as you know, as others do in other places. So. This is really a great opportunity for us to make a difference, to help our brothers and our sisters in Africa on a global scale. So this is huge. This is a huge project, and I'm just proud of being a part of a fraternity like this that really reaches out, not just locally here, but nationally and internationally to help our brothers and our sisters and to help our community. So my next question for you personally, what do you feel is the most rewarding about participating in this project?
Well, for me, it would be knowing that the boreholes will provide villagers with an endless supply of fresh, clean, and potable water. And just knowing that it would contribute to their well-being of that community. And so, as we all know, your well-being, that is the essential to the quality of our lives. So that's what sticks out to me, just how it's going to be a major game changer for so many communities that currently have suffered when it came to clean water. And now there's a mean and a way. And I'm very proud of the Psi Iota chapter for being a part of that as well.
Outstanding, phenomenal. Thank you, Brother Moore, for sharing this great effort with the brothers of Psi Iota that the brothers of Psi Iota are pursuing. We know that, as you said, every borehole built will provide clean drinking water for thousands of our brothers and sisters in Ghana, Africa, something we can truly take pride in knowing. Thank you, Brother Moore.
Thank you.
We are going to quickly transition into our final segment of the night, which focuses on a matter that impacts men of all ages, and that is the importance of prostate cancer awareness. According to zerocancer.org, despite most cancers seeing a drop in the deaths, Prostate cancer deaths are on the rise in the U.S. New reporting from the American Cancer Society shows that in 2020, the number of men who will die from prostate cancer will hit a record high over the last 2 decades, with an increase of 5% since just last year. In addition, African American men, 1 in 7 at this point, are at an increased risk for developing prostate cancer over white men and other men of color. Only 1 in 9 African American men will develop prostate cancer in his lifetime. Overall, African American men are 1.8 more times likely to be diagnosed and 2.2 times more likely to die from prostate cancer than white men. African American men are also slightly more likely than white men to be diagnosed with the advanced disease. Today, we have a special guest, Brother David Sauls, a 16-year prostate cancer survivor, diagnosed in 2005. He is a board member of the National Alliance of State Prostate Cancer Coalitions, representing 42 states, in which Delaware Prostate Cancer Coalition is a proud member. He's a fitness motivator for all and a very active member of Psi Iota chapter. He's here to share his story and discuss the importance of prostate cancer awareness and what he's doing to raise awareness. So let's get right into the conversation. Good evening, Brother Sauls.
Good evening, my brothers. Thank you for inviting me.
Outstanding. Glad to have you. Brother Sauls, I'm going to get right into it. Can you please share with our listeners your story as a 16-year cancer survivor?
Yes, I'll be happy to do so. But being having only 5 minutes, I could talk all day about my situation. But let's start with it. In 2005, the 23rd, in fact, a day before my wife's birthday, I was in my doctor's office, my urologist. He said, I got some bad news and some good news. What do you want to hear first? I said, well, give me the bad news. Bad news was you have prostate cancer. The good news, as I sat there hearing nothing but bad news, the good news, he said, it can be helped, can be treated, early stages. With that said, I started my journey to be an advocate for prostate cancer of all men. That day, December 23rd, was the beginning of a life-changing experience for me. In fact, changed me mentally, physically, and basically always spiritually. Next question.
That's a phenomenal story. Absolutely. So I know we are coming up on time, but can you share briefly as well, what are top 3 things that men, especially men of color, can do to ensure we stay aware and on top of our prostate health?
Excellent question. Matter of fact, I have 5 here, but I'll give you the top 3. Age, men 55 to 69, all men should have a baseline check of their PSA, of their prostate, get a PSA. Also, African American men, when I'm talking with African American men, I basically tell them they need to get a baseline so they know where their PSA numbers are or it's located, so they be able to track for the rest of the years when they go back to the urologist or to the family doctor. And family history. If you have a father or a brother with prostate cancer, you're most likely 2 times most likely to have prostate cancer yourself. And it's been known through research that if a mother has a breast cancer, that gene has jumped over to the son, and he could have prostate cancer. That's just something that came out in the last few years. It's called a BRCA1 or BRCA2. Also, these other ones are also important, like obesity, lack of exercise, not eating enough vegetables, and smoking. These are high risk factors of aggressive prostate cancer.
Thank you, Brother Sauls. I really appreciate that information and your personal testimony for fighting and beating prostate cancer. We know how important this is to be aware and to be educated on the importance of getting checked annually. So, Brother Sauls, I want to thank you this evening for your time as well.
Anytime, brother, anytime.
Fantastic. So as we transition to close, we will now close out the podcast segment this evening by highlighting just a few notable segments, upcoming events for the Psi Iota chapter and sharing several closing remarks. Our most current project, and I'll just highlight this one, which runs through Saturday, March 20th, is the Texas Relief Drive. Psi Iota chapter has partnered with the Delaware Air Force Base private organization to gather donations to assist those affected by the disastrous snowstorm in Texas. As you know, many families lost power in their homes, lost their belongings, as well as being misplaced from their homes as well. The chapter is donating water, non-perishable foods, toiletries, socks, games, clothing, batteries, diapers, and baby food, baby wipes, anything that could help a family in need during this time. So this is a true humanitarian effort, and I want to thank the brothers for their continued efforts and their support in the people that have been affected by this. And so I'm going to go ahead and move to our closing remarks. I want to thank you. I want to thank all the brothers that were on today's podcast as guests for joining this segment of Q's on the Move. The next Q's on the Move podcast segment will be held on Tuesday, March 23rd at 8:00 p.m. I would like to share with you this final words. We encourage you to take good care of yourselves. You can help keep those around you by keeping your distance 6 feet apart, wear your mask, and wash your hands to protect yourself, your loved ones, and others during this unprecedented health crisis. Until next time, be the change that you wish to see in the world. Be well and stay safe. Have a great evening. Good evening, brothers.